Welcome to Live from Dennis's house, only on 474 The Mix, where the music matters. I'm your host, Dennis Morgillo, and each week we transport you back in time, to a simpler time, to a happier time, when men were men and sheep were nervous. I don't even know what that means, but... So I'm going to transport you back to your parents' basement, to your parents' attic, rec room, your teenage bedroom, wherever you used to hang out in high school and listen to your vinyl albums. So go dust off your old vinyl albums and get ready for a whole bunch of fun and a lot of good memories. This is the first show of the new fall season, and today we are spotlighting the 1974 album Streetlights by Bonnie Raitt. I am now holding it up.
Yahoo.
So, it's great to be back on TV and radio. We've been on hiatus since June just for the TV show. We've been doing the radio show, and there's a lot of exciting stuff going on. And I want to greet today's guests and the sidekicks here. So, my guests today are Franke. How's your name? How do you say your name again?
Franke Previte.
Speak into the mic. Everyone remember to speak into the mic.
Hi, Mike.
It's Franke Previte and Lisa Sherman.
Hello.
Hi. And now I'm going to introduce the new staff, the new crew here. I have my co-host and sidekick, Cha-Cha Ferriola. My new head writer, Stephen Bello, and sidekick. Say hello into the mic.
Hi, people. Hello.
Say hello, Stephen.
Hello, Stephen.
Very good. And the new musical director and band leader, Dee Dee Pye.
Hello.
And we have Laura Catalina Johnson, who I gave the title of Key Grip to.
I've had that title before.
My neighbor.
I hold that title.
My new neighbor.
Yes. All right. So first, before we talk to Franke and Lisa, we're gonna do the Man About Town segment that I do every week, where I talk about what I did for the week and the weekend. And I had a very exciting Saturday. Saturday morning, I went to the dentist, and that it was just a teeth cleaning, but they managed to make that painful now. That it used to be you'd floss a little, brush your teeth, and you'd be out of there. Now they have this thing that sounds like a drill, and it's digging all up in your gums, and it's excruciatingly painful.
I don't know. I think it tickles.
No, it's a thing. I floss every day.
You're an anti-dentite.
It's Mr. Thirsty. You have to wait for Mr. Thirsty to
Well, funny that you say that, because when I woke up from the gas, my pants were unbuttoned.
Oh, was it tucked or untucked?
Just check it's going to show up on your bill later as extra.
Yes. So, and then after that fun, Saturday night, my band, the DeSilvas, played. We had a nice time, very nice time. But as all of us being musicians here, most of us, that one of the best things or one of the worst things is that you get to meet a lot of people that you normally wouldn't run into or associate with. So as we were on one break Saturday night, I was outside getting some air, and this guy came over, and he was talking to me. He was like, he looked like he was 100 years old, but he had a long, scraggly beard and long ponytail.
That was my father.
But he was telling me about what a great dancer he was, and that all the and all the ladies always tell him what a great dancer he was, and that if he can move like that on the dance floor, he must be really good elsewhere. So
Is this a kids show?
Yeah, it's a family-friendly show. So he then proceeded to do a full split on the floor, which completely dumbfounded
That was
me.
Frankie.
No, we found out that was James Brown.
This was in the parking lot. This guy's doing a split. Yeah, absolutely. But then, he kept repeating himself that same story about how he's such a good dancer, he must be good elsewhere, and that he tells the ladies, "Oh, I got a van in the back that you might want to come check it out." So, talking to the mic, please, everyone. And that I got nervous after the third time he said about this and going into his van with his, molester van. So I quickly dismissed him and walked away after that. So
He had moves.
yes, he moves, and he
And duct tape.
surprisingly.
And this keeper person knows.
Surprisingly, he was a huge fan of Michael Jackson's too, and afterwards he told me that him and Michael Jackson were the same age, and all along I was assuming this guy was like 90, but apparently he was only like 50 something. So he had a rough life, I guess. So
Too much dancing.
I was just saying, I think dancing kept you young.
yeah. So one more thing I want to talk about for the weekend is Sunday. We went to a barbecue and we ended up playing touch football. And you know, when elderly men like myself start playing touch football, bad things could happen. So
Women?
no women, just He-Man Woman Haters Club. And so
Deflating.
no. And of course,
Darla.
I'm very competitive, and I used to be a great athlete, and I was deemed the MVP of the game. I declared myself the MVP, but anyway, I had interception and a touchdown.
Nice.
And it was all going good until my friend Jimmy McNally had to pull my groin muscle, and then that was it. I was out.
He
And
pulled your groin muscle? How does that
yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is a family show.
So yes, it was. It's very because I'm very competitive, and I have bruises all over my body now just to show it. We were at the Blue Claws game last week, right? And I'm sitting there. It's the last game of the season, and they throw a T-shirt into the crowd, and my Eye of the Tiger kicks in, and I go for this like I'm Derek Jeter going for a foul ball in the World Series, and I fall over the chair in front of me. I knock a little kid, an old lady over.
I knew that was going to happen.
No, I didn't really do that. But anyway, I got the T-shirt, and I open it up. It's not even a Blue Claws T-shirt. It's like a Parks Department T-shirt.
It was a kid's t-shirt.
Parks
Department.
And it's size small.
Exactly. So I did end up giving it to the kid in front of me, and I looked like a hero. But if it was a foul ball, I would have knocked the old lady and the little kid over, and I would have kept it. But
I know.
anyway, so all right. So what else you want to talk about? Oh, I know what else. Speaking of
What are
pulled.
you asking? You're asking yourself. Because you want to ask me, I'll tell you what I want to talk about.
All right, let's see if this falls into your wheelhouse here. Speaking of pulled groins, also on the weekend, I watched Deliverance.
Oh, come on. You know.
Yes, from beginning to end. And
First
I got to
time?
say, no. I've
How's
seen
Bert
it.
doing?
Yeah, so I got to say that, you know, for men, this has been a traumatic experience, I think, because we all saw that movie when we were little kids and we're all emotionally scarred. So I think we all need to have a group therapy session right here and now get it out. The scene
Sing
with
the
Ned
song.
Beatty when they make him squeal like a pig.
I kind of like it now. I gotta be honest.
But you notice that you can never go down south or go camping or do anything without bringing up Deliverance, you know? And it's
Or doing
exactly. And you know the funny part is the kid who played the banjo player, there was nothing wrong with him. He
That
was
was my
completely
Funky melody.
yeah, that's some family, the Shermans over there.
Now
Dad
it
doing
all comes
splits.
clear.
Yeah.
You'd be nice to my dad and my brother.
So, but can you imagine? That must be embarrassing, though. They say, "Oh, you're perfect for a part in our new movie." All right, great, I'm in. All right, you're playing a mutant freak from the South.
Don't do anything 'cause you're perfect, just like you are.
Yeah, right. No makeup.
No acting, just be yourself.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's enough shenanigans for right now. So, all right. Welcome back, and now let's meet our guests. Franke and Lisa Sherman. I stopped saying your last name because I'm going to mess it up every time. So, yeah.
So I became a Sherman then.
Franke, Mr. Sherman. And,
Call me Mr. Sherman.
So we're going to talk to them. We're going to find out about they're doing a huge show at the Algonquin Theater in Manasquan, New Jersey, the best of Bonnie Raitt. So tell us a little bit about the show and your lives and anything you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Go ahead, girlfriend.
Okay, well, the show is The Best of Bonnie Raitt. It's a tribute to the woman and her music and her history. It's on October 24th at the Algonquin Theater, and to get tickets, it's algonquinarts.org. And this will be our third time doing the show. The first two times was at McLuhan Supper Club in Asbury. And
The show's sold out.
both shows sold out. Who doesn't love Bonnie Raitt?
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
No one.
Really?
From what I
mean,
understand,
she's-
all of your shows sell out.
That's really nice of you.
It's true. I always hear
Right?
that.
You.
Oh my God, it was packed. Yeah.
And
tickets gone.
Very
Boom.
nice.
talk about what an awesome singer you are and what a beautiful voice you have.
About what an awesome singer you
you.
are, because
Thank
everybody
you.
loves to do that.
Thank you.
I can talk about that.
Yeah,
You can
Frank.
talk about that.
Do it,
That's where
Frankie.
that's where
I can- I-
Frankie Sherman comes in, right?
Yeah. Well, the first time I saw Lisa perform was in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and it was in front of about 2,000 people on the beach. And she walked up on stage, and I've never heard her sing before. And before she sang a note, she kind of like ingratiated the audience, and I went, if she's any good, she's really gonna, do well. Well, she got 4 standing ovations.
Wow.
That was a good night. I remember that.
Yeah, so I'm like,
He asked me out that night.
It's very
Tell the real
bold.
story.
That's bold to ask out the woman who just got 4 standing ovations to
Yeah,
a crowd
right.
of 2,000. You're like,
Right.
why not me?
Yeah.
well, some guy came up to us and said, "Is that your boyfriend?" So I figured I'd
Yes.
try. I'd
Yes.
try.
Oh, he's playing the part. Playing the
Yes,
part.
Wow.
Hey, that was my
Anyway,
father.
nicely done. I get that.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
It all comes around. It's like a
Yeah.
Seinfeld episode.
Life
everything.
is a Seinfeld.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Anyway, so that's kind of how we started. But since that time, we've been doing a lot of productions, and Decades of Divas has been an incredible journey. And that next show is
In next year, it's in June 3rd. But the cool thing about that show is when it first started was when Lisa said, I said to her, "What are you doing next?" And she goes, "I'm playing the Count Basie Theater in a show called Decades of Divas." And I said, bing, light bulb went off, and I'm thinking, wow, that's a great title. So I said, hear me out for a second. I'm going to tell you what I see, and I started describing a stage with 2 nightclubs on it, and the street in between the nightclubs is called Memory Lane. And then there's big screens, and we have Billie Holiday and Ella and Etta, and go from the 40s all the way up to Adele.
present day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we did that show, and it did really well. And there was a gentleman that happened to see the show named Mark Medoff. And Mark Medoff is a Tony Award-winning, Academy-nominated playwright director. And he was, what we did with Decades is I wrote like a little Broadway thread that connected one song to another song. And he goes, I want to write that thread. I want to be involved in writing that thread. I said, dude, do it, And so I said, I have a different idea for it. And I said, instead of putting the scenery like the street lights, and we put actually a bar on stage and people in a nightclub.
Cool.
oh, cool.
They're sitting on stage with us. I said, I want to 3-dimensionally project that. And he goes, that's a great idea. I got a guy.
I got a
I got a guy.
Like,
Jersey, so
over the
Jersey.
rainbow,
I got a guy.
a rainbow will shoot into the audience, and
Well,
we have
and birds fly into the audience and stuff like that.
and
So-
people. We have little animated alter egos of us.
Yes.
that are like dancing next to
Next
people
to-
in the
Wow,
audience.
this is some production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be happening. We go into production
With no
for that.
glasses.
With no
No glasses, yeah.
You
We
don't
go
have
into
glasses that
production
fall
for
off your
that
face.
in January. We start rehearsals for that.
Yeah,
in
we start in
January.
January.
And where is that show going to be?
That's going to be at the Count Basie.
Okay.
It opens
love
up
the
in New
Count
Mexico.
Basie.
We're opening
Mexico.
Up, we're
Yeah.
opening up in New Mexico, and then we're heading.
Yeah, well, Mark
We're heading east.
lives out in New Mexico, and he's a teacher at the University of New Mexico. And some of these 3-dimensional things are happening because the head of the film department teaches 3-dimensional projecting.
Wow.
Wow.
So
So-
Mark said, come on out. We have a big stage. We can rehearse it here. We can do it here, get it tight, and then we can come back to Jersey. So that's, hey, it's a big dream, and we're trying to make it happen.
That
Do you
sounds
take the
great.
same?
Beautiful,
That's
beautiful.
awesome. Do you take the same
Big love, baby.
performers with you on tour, or do you use
Yes.
local acts, local performers? You
Well,
take,
they're local people. You have Leona Holmes. You have
We have Aaron Chul.
oh,
we
but
have
I mean,
Reagan Richards.
so yeah, you're gonna bring like you're not gonna use people from New Mexico when you're in New Mexico.
No,
You're,
no.
you're taking
No,
Jersey
this
on
is
the
we're
gonna
road.
be
taking
a
our
tour.
Jersey.
Dang, I love it.
That
Yeah.
Good.
one thing you better be careful of. This is an actual fact. I was reading this recently that the bubonic plague actually still exists in
In
New Mexico. That
You
is
sure
like
New Mexico? Or
New
Mexico?
Mexico.
That's
14
an
people.
old Mexico. they don't have it anymore.
All right. Well,
We'll get
better
our
get your
shots.
shots. Yes.
we'll get our shots.
they
But as
actually
far as
have
Bonnie
bubonic
Raitt's
plague
concerned,
shots?
the show it offers her music from when she started. Like she's got like 5 decades
Yeah.
of music, and we're starting with the late 60s and going straight to present day. And we have film clips that have different eras in her life, talking about her relationship with her father, who was an incredible Broadway singer. We have we talk about her growing up and what her dreams and aspirations were, and how she actually got into the whole music industry. And then we go to present day, when she had taken a hiatus because she had, she lost her brother, she lost her she lost a lot of family members, and had some personal issues, and she came back really strong with Luck of the Draw and quite a few of her other albums. I mean, she has countless hits and countless energy and countless songs that we're going to be trying to portray as much as we can on the night of October 24th.
But you know what's cool about it is that, the musicians that we have, a good friend of ours, Bobby Bandiero, will be our guest that evening. So we're excited about having Bobby with us.
Great.
I saw Bonnie Raitt live.
Did you really?
I did.
Wow.
Tell
I
us.
never did.
It was great, and I'm trying to think. Where's that place on Long Island that we go to?
Nassau Coliseum?
No, it was
Westbury Music
other
Fair?
Yes, I saw her at
Wow.
the Westbury Music Fair.
With your grandmother?
Nope, I did not see her with my grandmother. She has quite a following.
Your grandmother?
No, it's mostly women. That's what I'm gonna say.
I saw her in
Yeah.
New Zealand. I've seen her here. I've seen her a few times here.
Lisa used to live in New Zealand
Yeah,
for
I did.
9
I
years.
lived in New Zealand.
Yeah,
Wow.
she had her
Very
own
nice.
TV show that Nike backed in New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
There's a lot actually about
Wow.
you guys that the audience
Yeah.
doesn't know, and I didn't know until recently. We're going to get to
You'll
that.
hear it only
But
on this station.
yes, only on live from Dennis's house,
Exclusive.
the expose. All right, now let's talk a little bit more about Bonnie Raitt and this album and you guys here. So, all right, this album, what's it called? Streetlights. I'm holding this up for you people on radio right now.
I didn't know if I should.
And it came out in 1974. It was Bonnie Raitt's fourth album. And her first three albums had a lot of critical success, but not a lot of commercial success.
cute.
Yes. And my favorite song by her is on this album that we just heard before, Angel from Montgomery. And I love that song. And
We do that in the show. Lisa
oh,
does that.
nice. Maybe you'll be doing it later with the girls too. If we can trick you into it.
This is
So-
all. This is.
You're not
this-
supposed to tell someone that you're going to trick them into something. That's not very tricky.
Well, let me give you a little bio of Bonnie Raitt here. So she was born Edna Mae Glutz in Macon, Georgia in 1927 to sharecropper parents. Hey, wait a minute.
Say that
You
again.
gave me the wrong paper. That's not her. She wasn't born in Macon, Georgia in 1927.
No.
She was born Bonnie Lynn Raitt in Burbank, California.
I wasn't going to say a word. I was going to let you just go with that. Glutz, I figured anything that happened downstairs in this basement.
Who's that 1927 girl?
That's Carol Ann's grandmother. Cha-Cha, I should say. So
from New York.
she
What do I know?
she was one of the first blues-influenced female singers that also played a mean slide guitar, which was very rare at the time. Yes. So, and her first huge hit, I say, was Runaway back in
Yeah, it was
1977, right? And she was also a huge activist. She was at No Nukes and Sin City. You have a cause, Bonnie Raitt will be there, no problem.
'Cause I'm
She's
broke.
good like that.
I'm telling her.
Because is any.
And she also had a drug and alcohol problem, but she said that she cured it thanks to Stevie Ray Vaughan. That she was talking to him like right before he died, and he was telling her, he's off, and she saw what a great musician, and he's a better musician now without it, and that was it. And then he died the next day.
Oh.
And then,
Bill Graham.
what's that?
With Bill Graham, I believe.
He died with Bill Graham?
Wasn't he in the...
I think that was the Big Bopper you're talking about, and Buddy Holly.
Oh, the airplane?
Different place.
Yes.
different plane.
I don't know who else was on Stevie's plane, actually. So I don't know. So she's also won huge awards, tons of awards, Grammys, you name it, she's got it. And she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Did you know that?
Yes.
I didn't. I wasn't sure of that.
Top 50 women in globally for slide and And vocals. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, because actually I don't know any of the
We're
female
sharing the brain.
slides.
Yeah.
Yeah, she also seems
I'll
very
start, you'll
nice. You know
finish.
that too? Doesn't she always
Yes.
seem nice? She's always smiling. She had dimples and everything. She
Yeah.
seems like a nice
Yeah,
person.
cute.
I always thought she was married to that actor,
was.
She was.
the guy. Let's give him something to talk about. Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
She was married to him.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't she married to the guy from Roseanne?
John
What?
Goodman.
No.
No.
The guy who played Roseanne's sister's
Nah, I don't know.
baby daddy.
I don't know.
Wasn't she married
That
to
was
him?
my cousin.
She's like, I'm running out of
It was on the
notice.
airplane with Bill Graham.
I forget his name,
Yeah.
but I think she was married to him too for a long time.
All right. Well, we'll have our crack staff look into that immediately. Stephen, get on
I'll get on
that.
it.
Stephen, you're also the.
It was Tom Arnold, I think you're talking about, right?
Yes, Tom.
He was on the show.
She was not married to Tom Arnold.
All right, now everyone playing at
She's all
home,
of
this
us.
is the time of the show
This is the time.
where everyone stops talking because the host is talking and we smell the album. So everyone out there, go, it's playing along, go get your copy of Streetlights by Bonnie Raitt, 1974, and we're all going to smell it. Ah.
You got
You know
to
what
takes
that's
me
about?
back.
Is to smell albums.
Always. Oh yeah.
It's
part of the show.
It's a ritual. Smell it. It'll take you right back to 1974 if you were born then.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
I got a buzz.
Yeah, that always works.
You shake something
There,
out of it.
viewers, there is some
crazy.
incredible vinyl here. I just want you to know.
Yeah, some of the viewers on the radio, so they can't see it. So too bad.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes. You'll have to check out the TV show. If you're only listening on radio, check out the TV show, and you can see all the fun stuff I have in the studio here. So,
They still haven't made Smell-O-Vision yet, though.
yeah. Hey, welcome back to Live from Dennis's house. Now we're going to talk about stuff that's happening in the world around us. The first thing I want to talk about is Sabado Gigante. Yes. La musica, la musica. So, anyway, I saw a story about this guy. Didi, are you aware of this show? Does everybody know this show?
Yes.
It's on
Of
I
course.
used to watch it.
it's
Oh,
on
every
Univision.
Saturday.
It's a
Yep.
Saturday night show,
know this show.
and it's in Spanish, and it's been on for 53 years. The same guy's been hosting it. And I saw an interview with him, and he only missed one show in 53 years, and that
true.
was because his mom died that night. And the next night he was there. And it's never had a rerun. It's been original show. It's on 7 nights a week for
Right.
53
Weekly show.
years.
That was my aunt.
Yeah. So now the guy is retiring. So now I'm making a formal proposition here to replace him, and I want to be the new host of Sabado Gigante.
You just lost it right
I
there.
just got to learn how to speak Spanish. So I'm working on
La
that. See?
musica.
Exactly. La música, la música. El radio, el radio. See?
He got the
Right
job.
there.
That was the audition.
I'm
right
in. All
You
right.
need to
So
switch my position to interpreter.
yes. So how was that? Was I good?
Yeah.
That was pretty good though, right? Yeah,
yeah.
you are now musical director and interpreter, Dee
There you
Dee,
go. Thank you
and
very much. I just
It
got
all
promoted.
happens down here.
whatever else you want.
Can I get a
So,
raise?
and I want to talk about some celebrities that passed away recently that I want to give a shout out to. A lot of 60s icons passed away recently. We have Martin Milner. Anyone know who he is? He was from the TV show Adam 12 and
Stop.
Yes.
something else, yes.
Really?
He was one of the lead cops.
Which one was he?
He was the guy on the right.
I understand that. He was the guy on the right. I get that.
Sometimes he drove, but sometimes he sat in the passenger seat. So, and then I know you'll know who this is. Judy Carn passed away from Laugh-In.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
the British girl who did the "Sock It to Me" thing.
Right.
All right, and then Melody Patterson passed away, who was Jane from F Troop.
Wow, Miss Jane.
Yes, and then
Ridiculously hot.
Batgirl also passed away too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
It's
I
been
remember
a
seeing.
terrible month for
There were a few
60s
Batgirls.
icons.
There were.
Yeah.
Well,
There were
no,
a few Batgirls.
Catwoman. There was a few
You're right.
Catwoman.
Catwoman.
There's only one
Pickett
Batgirl.
and-
Commissioner Gordon's daughter.
Commissioner
Right,
Gordon's
right.
daughter.
Just hot.
And Julie Newmar was the best
Oh,
Catwoman
yes.
of all time, though,
Yes.
I have to say.
What was Cicely Tyson? Was that one?
Cicely Tyson.
That was
That was
ridiculous.
Miss Jane Pittman. Who are you talking about?
She was Catwoman.
Who?
No.
Eartha Kitt.
No, she was
Yes, that's better.
That's it.
Eartha Kitt.
She already said that. You're too late.
She was annoying. Yeah.
And then
One episode.
also back from way back from our childhood, two little rascals died in the last week. That
This
it
past
was
week?
yes, Joan Darling and Dickie Moore. And actually, that reminds me, that's going to be my new porn name, by the way.
That's your old one. I don't even want to know what are you going by now?
Buck naked right now.
I think that's taken. Everybody goes by.
Exactly. That was George's name, right? Lisa? Lisa.
That's right.
Seinfeld. George's porn star name.
Buck naked.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow, she's good at Seinfeld
So,
too.
yes.
So, all right. So let's talk a little bit more about you guys now. Frank, I understand that you had something to do with Dirty Dancing. Is this true?
Just a little bit.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
little bit. Just a
Yeah. So tell us all about this. You're.
I was in between getting a record deal. The guy that had that label, Jimmy Einer, had decided he was going to close shop, and then 2 years later called me up, and I was out there doing demos, and I had all these songs I was trying to get a record deal with, and so he called me and said, I have this little movie, Dirty Dancing, and I'd like you to write a song for it. And I said, Jimmy, I'm really too busy. And he goes, make time, this is going to change your life. I said, well, you did that 2 years ago, man, and it didn't work out for me. And so he goes, no, I got a good feeling about this, and it's called Dirty Dancing. I was like, oh, boy. And he said, so the good news is I'm asking you to write a song, but there's been like 149 songs that have been submitted and passed on. And you have like 2 weeks to like write a song. He goes, now, the other side of this is it has to be 7 minutes long. So I'm thinking MacArthur Park. So I actually got a track together with John DiNicola and Don Markowitz, and I took that track and I played it over the phone to Jimmy, and he goes, man, it sounds like a really cool track. Make a song out of it. So on the way to the studio on the Parkway, exit 140, I'm sitting in my car playing this cassette back in 1987, going, "Name of my life, name of my life, name of my." What the hell am I saying?
What's coming here?
Yeah. I had the time of my life, and I scribbled it on an envelope. I really didn't know anything about this movie. The man upstairs wrote this song.
Wow.
So I submit the song. I forget all about it. They asked me if I had any other songs, and I go, yeah, I got this song on my demo reel. I'll send it in. So I send in the song. It's called Hungry Eyes.
Wow.
You wrote Hungry Eyes?
Yeah, I wrote that too. Do I have to?
I'm standing next to the dude who wrote these songs.
Yeah. Let's have a round of applause.
So there it is.
Great
My Dirty
song.
Dancing
Wow.
story.
Great song.
Awesome.
Too.
Wow.
Really.
How long do you think you could keep that for?
My crack reporter back there uncovered that.
She's on crack. What?
So did you get to meet Swayze and all of that? Were you,
I met Patrick the first time. I was lucky enough to win an Academy Award for the song.
Whoa! Oh, you should have brought that. That would have been awesome.
It's very heavy, actually.
I call him my manager. Oscar's my manager. So I met him at the Academy Awards, and he was like, "Dude, I need to talk to you because I need to know who sang the demo." And I said, "Well, I did with this girl Rochelle Capelli." I said, "Well, what's the big deal?" And he goes, "Well, we didn't have a song. We hated this movie. We were getting ready to film out of sequence. They were going to film the last scene first." And he goes, "So we were like, let's get this movie over. We hate this movie." And then the last cassette came in, and there you were singing "Time of My Life." And we said, we're going to film this movie to that song. And he goes, at the end of the day, we looked at each other and went, what just happened? What a great ending for this movie. So he said, when I'm lip syncing, I've had the time of my life. He goes, I'm lip syncing to you. I go, really?
Cool.
He's so hot. Patrick.
Thank you.
Frankie?
Yeah,
or-
Frankie. Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm thinking right now. But you changed the whole vibe for everybody.
Yeah, can you
when
imagine that
they were
movie?
making the movie, right?
Without those songs?
No, absolutely.
And that's
not.
what, but that's
They
music.
are
That's
the movie, actually.
Exactly.
But that's what music does. That's
Well,
what it's what's so special about it is all these people had this whole idea. They had the story didn't change. The words the people were saying didn't change, but you can tell what he said is once he heard that song, it set up the whole. It set the mood for the whole movie, and it made it what it is. It could have been something totally different without that song.
Well, to me, it's a culmination of the success from Dirty Dancing is the song Patrick and Jennifer. So if you take one of those out of the equation,
Right.
you don't have the same phenomenon.
Yeah.
Because RCA Records and Vestron Films back in the day weren't getting along too good. They didn't really care for the movie that much. And so Vestron was like, okay, we're going to put the movie out. And so RCA stuck the record out, and Time of My Life went on the adult contemporary charts, and it had a bullet without any movie by itself. And then Vestron decided it wasn't going to put out the movie. And RCA went, where's your movie? And they go, oh, well, we're going to put it out next month. And so RCA said, take your little movie and shove it. And so Time of My Life had a bullet, and now it had an anchor. And
Right.
it fell off the charts. And so they put out the movie a month later, and they were only going to put it out for a month, and then they were going to go directly to DVD with it. And within 1 week, 300,000 records were back ordered.
Wow.
And by the time RCA could print a record, there was 1 million records back ordered. And so it's the power of, again, a song and a movie and Patrick and Jennifer, and the people created the phenomenon, not the record company.
Right.
Very
Yes.
cool.
Beautiful.
There's
Awesome.
never been another Patrick Swayze. Ever.
Now,
Never. No
isn't
one-
the show? Doesn't it have? Aren't you benefiting pancreatic cancer?
We are. We're
And didn't he pass away from that?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Oh,
I have
okay.
a site that's called Dirty Dancing Demos, which is I take those original demos of Time of My Life, Hungry Eyes that I sang, and there's a third song I wrote for the stage play Dirty Dancing called Someone Like You, and I sell those demos on Dirty Dancing Demos on Facebook, and you can go there and purchase it, and all that money goes to the Pancreatic Cancer Action
Wow.
Network in Patrick's memory. And so when Lisa does a gig and she's gracious enough to donate $1 from every ticket for pancreatic cancer. So we're in it to help cure this disease if we can. We're all doing a little bit of it. And if everybody in the world gave $1, I think we could get it.
There you go.
Awesome. Very good.
Beautiful.
So
Sounds so easy, doesn't it?
that's
It's-
October
should be.
24th
October
at
24th.
Algonquin Arts Theater in Manasquan, New Jersey. Right down the block. We're going. Put that on the calendar.
Main Street, 173 Main Street in
Okay.
Manasquan.
All right, so we're out of time here. Anybody got anything else they want to say before we wrap
Thank you,
this all up?
Dennis.
Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next time,
Thanks,
bring
Dennis.
Oscar. I need to take a picture with Oscar.
You'd be
Thanks,
surprised
Cha-Cha.
how heavy these awards are,
Thank
and you wonder
you.
why people at the end of the award shows they always say that their arms are like so sore. they're very
solid,
they're
huh?
solid.
They're a good
So-
20 pounds.
What?
Wow.
That would have
What's wrong
been,
with that.
That's
Do you ever
what
do
I'm
that?
saying.
yeah.
Do you like, some
Frankie,
tricep
that would have been a
workout?
perfect weapon if Kanye West tried to steal your Oscar. You
There you
could
go.
have.
He would have gone south quick.
Okay, so thanks everyone coming on, and it's time to wrap up the show. Thanks for joining us here on Live from Dennis's House, only on 474 The Mix, where the music matters. See you next week when we'll be doing another classic album and behaving badly. Like me on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitter, Instagram, anywhere. Come to my house, whatever. And we got DennisMorgello.com, my new website. The new fall season TV has begun, and we got an exciting fall lineup coming up. We got lots of cool guests. We're going to be featuring albums by Elton John, Iron Maiden, Iggy Pop, U2, MC5, BB King, and much, much more. So, live from Dennis's house.
Good night.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.